Hi guys, welcome to Casey's Contemplation. Today I'm going to share the weirdest prayer God has ever answered for me. So here I am on my way home from a Bible study, and I had so much on my mind. I felt God calling me to religious life, but I was scared because I wanted to get married and I wanted to have kids. And while I'm praying, I just felt like God couldn't hear me. So while driving, I passed 5 deer on the side of the road, and I was just in awe of their beauty. And so I wanted to know if God was listening to me, so I kind of just spoke what was on my mind. So I prayed, God, if you can hear me, can you just make one of these deer run out in front of me? I know what you're thinking. Why would anyone ever pray for something like that? And honestly, I don't really know why I prayed for that. It's just what came out of my mouth. But I just prayed for something really strange to happen so that I knew that God was there. But no worries, no deer ran out in front of me. And so here I'm driving, and I passed by this church, and I felt God calling me to go inside and pray. So I parked my car and I went in. After praying a rosary with 3 other people in there, a lady turned around and looked at me and she said, "Are you discerning being a sister?" And I said, "Yeah." And then she began to tell me her story about how she went into a convent for a year and then she left. And then a couple years later, she ended up getting married and having kids. But she told me as much as she loves her husband and her kids, that she wished she would have stayed at the convent because nothing has ever satisfied her heart more than when she was there. This was really eye-opening for me because the one thing I was scared about going into religious life was that my desire to have a family wouldn't be fulfilled. So through her, I knew Jesus was telling me that giving up having a family would be well worth it for the love I would experience giving my entire life over to him. I then left the chapel and I started praying in my car, just telling God what was on my mind. And then about a half mile from my house, I finished my prayer and I made the sign of the cross. Next thing I know, I'm slamming on my brakes and a deer darts out in front of me. When I came to a stop, I immediately thanked God for saving my life. And then I was like, oh my gosh, God just answered my prayer. I don't think I've ever smiled so much about a deer running out in front of a vehicle before, but I could just not stop smiling because I knew that God could hear me and that he knew what I was battling with inside my mind. So that night, God answered 2 prayers of mine. One, he took my worries away about wanting to have a family if he was calling me to religious life by sending me that lady to tell me her story. And 2, he answered my prayer by sending a deer to run out in front of my car. So through this God nod, he showed me several things. He showed me that he answers our prayers when we least expect it. You know, I was expecting maybe a deer to run out in front of me when I saw the deer, but no, he waits until after I got done praying that night and then he sends a deer. And he did it when I didn't even know that deer were near me, which made the answer even more clear that God was with me. God showed me that he had a great sense of humor, and I learned that I really have to be careful what I pray for because he might just answer my prayer about sending a deer out in front of my car. I also learned that no matter what vocation God is calling me to, that I just have to trust him and offer up my worries. I hope this God nod of mine has inspired you to trust God with your future vocation and just to offer up all of your worries to him, and to really be careful what you pray for because he might just answer it. I also want you to know that you're not supposed to test God. You're not supposed to be like, God, if you're real, then do this for me. But it's okay to call upon him when you feel like he's not there and just be like, God, please show me you're with me. I need you. I hope you guys enjoyed this God nod, and thank you guys for watching.